go. I don't do it for the shirts, the likes, the fame, the hype. They can change overnight. Hoping that brand that'll say something right, that'll touch your soul and convert your life. I do it for my seed to come. Albert, I will be done. I do it for the kingdom to come, knowing this war is already won. I do it for the enemy, disrespect, putting prayers all across his neck. Let me tell you.
I feel like a lot of times we use the word love in vain. I feel like we use the word love, um, free, free. What's the word called? I forgot how to say it, but I feel like a lot of people we misinterpret the word love. So I feel like this dialogue that we're doing tonight, you know what I'm saying, this open discussion that we're doing, I feel like it's gonna inevitably shine a light, to people out there.
I agree. I agree. Because I mean, to me, the topic of love is just, it's touchy in the many senses because when you get on love, it really all depends on how people identify and define love.
Right.
So, for this, to me, with this topic, it's like, I've seen many people get into arguments over it. I've seen many people get upset just talking about it
Yeah.
just because of how do people really define love.
Right. And how people receive it as well as give it too. You know.
Yes, yes, that is so true. How people receive it, yes, just as well as giving it to. Yes, because you got people that really don't even know how to receive love,
Exactly.
and you got people that don't know how to give love, don't know how to give love to people.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly. Or it's partial. Like they'll try to, what I'm saying, or it could be like partial because a person that's inexperienced that really what's going on with the talking 69. A person they may be inexperienced, or a person they may be trying to figure love out themselves. They may take what they see on media, or they may take what I'm saying, the doctrines of music or media or whatever. What I'm saying, and they may just learn how to do. They may know how to love partially, but not all the way, precisely.
right, right. So I mean, you kick this off. What do you define love as? Or what is love defined as?
Love to finance. Well, me personally, I would identify love as a like forgiving, patient, kind, passion. Not keeping records of wrongdoing. Like, that's a good question. Yeah, I'll
I
say.
define love as selflessness. Selflessness.
Uh,
If to sum it up, selflessness. Love is defined as selflessness. You're
yeah.
getting in a relationship with someone, and you know what this and we not even gonna keep love bound to the relationship of just a man and a woman. We could talk about love just period. It
Hmm.
is selflessness to me. It is about serving the other and the other serving you as well. Because that's how I define love. It is that if we were busy in a place of serving each other, which is a form of love,
Right.
then it would cut out a whole lot of what we see today.
Mm. I agree.
It would cut out a whole lot of that.
You say him, but I'm not good.
I can't hardly hear you.
Oh, yeah, no, I agree. I agree. I agree. Self and servitude. Yeah. What's
It
up with it,
is.
DJ?
Yeah, it is servitude because you cannot, you know what, because the way people love today, or what, because I was thinking about that outside, what people really call love, a lot of times is nowhere near equivalent to love. And what people consider love, oftentimes it has to do with, what can you do for me?
For me,
How
yeah,
how can
yeah,
give how can you give me? Love to me is defined as uh just giving up yourself. And
mm-hmm.
it ain't just the monetary of things. Anytime, just say for instance, I seen somebody on the side of the road who had a flat tire. I just use that hypothetically. I seen somebody on the side of the road who had a flat tire. I don't know this person. They didn't call for me or send for me, but I get out and I help this person with changing their tires, even if they ain't got the means to go pick up something that could help change their
Right,
tires. But in any way, I assist them, right? And then I go on about my way. Right there, that is love. That was
right,
selflessness. It didn't have anything to do with me or what I can gain from it or get from it. It just had to do with me seeing someone else in need and going to assist them.
right,
So
right,
love,
yeah,
a lot of the times, a love is selflessness. It's not about you. That's how I would define it. And I like the word you use, servitude. It's servitude, because love really focuses on giving unto someone else.
right. No, I agree with that, and I like that analogy a lot. What's up with the Queen Libriati? Forgive me if I'm saying it wrong. What's up with the Holy Nerd Vibes? Man, okay, we got traffic going on tonight. Okay, okay. Let's go forward then. But yeah, no, I agree. I like the analogy. Um,
Yeah, because what people consider love on today and how people love on today is nowhere near love. You got people killing people, just doing harmful things, period, all the way around. How could in any way you say that is love? And then I thought another way to describe love is, don't do nothing to nobody you wouldn't want done to you. I didn't say that you wouldn't do to nobody. No, don't do nothing to nobody that you wouldn't want done to you. Cause you got people that claim they love people, but then you calling them out their name.
right.
At the end of the day, if you really was to be honest, do you want somebody sitting up calling you out your name?
Exactly.
So guess what? You don't call nobody else out their name. And you can't tell me that you love them when you were sitting up there displaying some kind of behavior or action towards someone that you wouldn't want done to you. I didn't
Exactly.
say that you do. No, you wouldn't want it done to you.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
God is love. You so right about it. Uh, God is love. And I feel like that's the only way that we'll truly love correctly. Because us as humans, we are selfish. So if
Mm,
we love out of ourselves, ain't no evolving in that, because we live in a world where most people are out for themselves.
yeah, for real. For real. And I like that you say that too. Like love is what you. How would you want somebody, doing to others as you would want somebody to do to you, and stuff like that too? Because when you was using the analogy, like calling, somebody else out of their name, you know what I'm saying? You wouldn't want they done to you, and that's true. Like, it made me think about like self love. Like you want to do that to yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You wouldn't. It goes boil down. Like you want to do it to yourself, so why would you, go forward and do that to another person? That just goes to show your motive in your heart.
yes, it does. It always, and that's to me. Uh, I think a lot of people, if you would ask them on today, do you have love in your heart, or do you know how to love? A lot of people would say yes, they do, but most people only identify love to the capacity of what have been shown unto them that they deem as love. I hope that makes sense. Most people identify love only to the capacity of what have been shown to them
Being
that they deem as love.
right. Yeah, as they defining themselves within their own
Yes,
life experience.
according
Yeah.
to how it have been displayed in their life.
Right,
So for a
right,
lot of people, love within them won't evolve unless they address it. Cause that's what it means. Evolve. When you look it up, it says love that evolves. It grows.
right, right. And then too, early when you say like love is selflessness, it made me think too like love comes with humility. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
it do.
Humility is a virtue of love.
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
Yes, it
and
is. Yes, it is. And it takes a whole lot of that. That's why a lot of relationships can't last
right,
because ain't no humility in it. It's all about me first. And I'm talking about friendships. I don't care what ship, how you relate in that ship. But the moral of the story and the end game of it all is that most people, a lot of people, don't know how to love because they don't have humility. To be humble, put yourself down, put what you want down first.
yeah, exactly, exactly. And it's like one person want to be right. I mean, like, and then yeah, it's like one person want to be right all the time and try to prove a point. But I feel like love, yeah, it ushers in.
Love is about servitude.
And two, love is liberating too. Um, and when I say that, because like when we was talking the other day, and we was talking about like how when about like telling the truth and like chastising, and how like chastisement is a form of love, like how telling the truth, what I'm saying, in spite of how another person may take it or feel about it, that's still love. Well, if you know speaking, chastising out of love, it's love, ain't it?
Yeah, yeah, it is. Because if you don't love somebody, you won't tell them the truth. If you don't love somebody, you won't correct them. And that's to even say that with a lot of the young people on today, you know, they don't understand or see that when you out and about and just say, for instance, a stranger say something to you
Hmm.
and they telling you, no, baby, no, don't do that. That's not good.
Right.
You know, do 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 do. And you get a flip off the mouth and you thinking who they talking to or why they talking to me,
Hmm.
but they don't understand that that's love right there.
Right.
That's love. Somebody took time out they day, see you doing something wrong.
Right.
They could have turned their head and kept going,
Exactly. Right.
let you be right where you was at. But they loved you enough to tell you the truth. Don't do that. So yeah.
Yeah, they love you that much. And it goes back to to selflessness and the analogy that you used earlier about if your car broke down and I took and I seen you need help and I helped you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it is a form of love.
hmm And then on the topic tonight, love evolved. Love equals evolve. That is really so true. Love surely equals evolve. Because to me, it's saying love equals growth.
Right. Exactly.
And it does.
You do, yeah.
Love
Because
equals growth.
yeah, yeah, you do because too um because you never know like who you may know you never know who you may come across and who you may touch in the faith. You know what I'm saying? Just out of operating in love. Like if you see somebody in need and you take the time out of your day, to aid them or to help them, or like the analogy you just used about, you see a young person going the wrong way and the elder person, pull them to the side, and like you just never know. You may just save their
Yeah.
life Cause you never know. They may be the one to be like, you know what? I'm gonna take your advice. I'm gonna listen to you. You know, so yeah, love equals growth. And I feel like too with love, you gotta be consistent in it though. Like that came to me like consistent love and consistency must go hand in hand.
Okay, expound upon that a little bit more.
Love and consistency must go hand in hand. I say that because like with true love, like true love gotta be consistent because you know love gotta be consistent. Dang.
I mean, I think I kind of get where you're going with that. Love being consistent in the sense of, um, it's almost like if you don't use it, you'll lose it. You know, it does, and love has to be sharpened on a consistent basis.
Yeah,
So yes, it does have to be consistency. That's how breakthroughs happen with even helping people that are tough to deal with.
yeah,
You know, people who are even stubborn. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Uh, people who are challenging.
right,
You know, when it comes to loving. Now, don't get me wrong. We can break down other dynamics of there is a point to where you have to love people from a distance, but I get what you're saying when you say love has to be consistent because it really does. And be through us loving people and loving people consistently, it does even cause an evolving there because it will cause other people to grow
right,
in,
yeah,
and
yeah,
it
that's yeah,
even teaches us to grow in loving people because a lot of people are very impatient when it comes to love. They really is. They really is. Those things we talked about, humbleness and patience and all that when we just talking about love. A lot of people are not patient and a lot of people are not humble when it comes to love. For real, because if love evolve equals you knowing how to be patient and understanding and compassionate,
yeah,
all of those things.
yeah.
You know
It's
what I'm
like those are like
saying?
yeah. It's like those other things are like elements of a formula. You know what I'm saying to create love, because like you just said like patience, humility, kindness. That's
Yes.
all of that combined. That's what equals love, and then that's what
And understanding too. I feel like that's a big one. Understanding because you know what, it was times that we didn't even know how to love correctly. You know, for people that feel that they are walking in true, authentic love. But always remember, it was time that you didn't know how to love authentically. So, in order to have love that evolves, that grows, and even to help other people grow in love, you gotta be understanding. You do because, baby, loving people ain't easy
yeah, not for real.
for
For
real.
yeah, because like
No
you
lie.
said, some is stubborn and others is challenging. And then that's the route I was going when I was saying love got to be consistent, because you may well in that aspect aspect in content when it comes to like correcting somebody, you got to be consistent, and you got to be consistent in your delivery. You know what I'm saying, and to continue to try to correct them, because in your consistency, you gonna get your some in some instances you gonna get your expected end.
And then, you just said something too. You said loving them and trying to correct them. Sometimes to correct people is just to simply love on them. And through the love you give, love will evolve in them. Have you ever seen a movie or uh, where it was like, we could take it as a football coach or something like that. Got with this
Mm-hmm.
team, right? And this team, they rough around the edges, or they might deal with a student that is rough around the edges, right? And
Right.
so, uh, the culture, whatever, continues to talk to them, but they understand and see that they're dealing with a child that's challenging. It might be many other things that you identify when you're loving someone that contributes to their brokenness or why they can't receive love or even give love, right? And it's like the culture or whatever the scenario is behind the person that is showing love or exhibiting love, they just get in a place where they continue to love on you until it just break the callus on their heart.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I get what you're
sometimes
saying.
it
Yeah.
ain't even about, it's just depending on the dynamic of the
Yeah.
situation
Yeah.
that you're dealing with. Sometimes, because when you said, and trying to teach them or trying to correct them, that's what you said, trying to
Mm-hmm.
correct them. Sometimes it ain't even for us to try to correct, it is just for us to continue to love and be authentic. It does not
Right.
mean that in this loving you allow people to do whatever, however, whenever, wherever. No, wisdom in all things.
Right.
But what I'm saying is that it ain't to point out how they messing up in loving you. And I had to learn
Mm-hmm.
lesson, point out what they ain't doing right and how they ain't, because that could be challenging and discouraging. Sometimes just by simply loving someone. I mean, just genuinely loving them,
Yeah.
in the essence and to the degree that is fitting for the circumstance, just loving them, continuing to show up, continuing just to be kind, continue to be patient. I'm telling you, that kind of love too, it breaks the callous hearts of people,
Yeah.
depending
And I like what
on
you.
what your circumstance is or what it is that you're in the case of loving someone, because you don't want to be loving someone and claiming it's love and you're just constantly correcting and nicking and picking it, pointing out all the wrong and the right and nagging and all. That's
Mm-hmm.
discouraging, and it can cause people to shut down. So
Yeah.
sometimes you have to watch love evolve from a place of just loving someone, and through the love and the action and the genuineness and the authenticness of loving them, guess what? Their love evolves. On top of it's helping your love to evolve too as well.
Yeah. Yeah. What's up with it? Ashley and praying poetry. But and then I like what you said too though. When you was like they don't mean you let people do whatever they want with you or let,
Yeah.
cause then they become a yes man. And I feel
Yeah.
like too, like even if you don't know how to properly love, like within yourself, I feel like people can still like tell like the authenticity of love. Like if you love it correctly, like if you love it
Yeah. That's why I
correctly,
say, yeah. Yes.
they'll
I
be able
agree.
to identify it, you know what I'm saying? So
But
yeah.
you know what though? I want to go back because I thought about this too on something you just said. A lot of times why people love can't evolve because people won't take the time to learn how to love correctly.
Right.
To love, and that's why I say it goes back to what people deem as love. Some people deem love as, I like, we could take relationship, even friendship, I don't care what it is. It's like, oh, you wasn't my dog. You ain't love me. Because if you love me, you wouldn't have stopped messing with me like that. But hold up, wait a minute. You was doing things that could have put me and your life in jeopardy. I ain't dealing with that. You know what I'm saying? So, it's to what level people deem as love. Most people don't even take the time to understand love. And most people don't even take the time to let love evolve in themselves to even know how to love. Because it is a correct way to love and it's an incorrect way to love.
Right.
And for most people, most would argue about it and disagree. But for me, things boil down to truth and opinion. Facts and opinion. Thank you,
Mm-hmm.
Lord. Facts and opinion. There is a correct way to do all things, period. And most people don't even know how to love correctly.
Right.
Most people are short with people. Most people are easily agitated and aggravated. So how can you love someone correctly or be patient in love if you easily aggravated and agitated and frustrated?
Exactly. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
first we have to identify how to love properly. How to love properly. And patience is the beginning of loving properly. I'm talking about this go for relationships, this go for a friendship. I don't care what ship it is. You have to be patient.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? In order to love people properly. Because you're talking about two separate people. Yeah,
Exactly.
you might got it, but they ain't got it. But is you gonna discredit them and discount them and just kick them to the side
Right.
because they ain't got it? Yes. Yes, patience is powerful. Yes, it is. It is very powerful. Very.
Mm. And I like
So,
that. I like that.
yes,
Yeah. Cause
we gotta go ahead.
pe- yeah, cause like people, they vary. Like you say, you may got it, but do they mean discredit them? But like, nah, patience is
It's
needed.
the essence of love to
Yeah.
me. It's the essence. Let me tell you, in any relationship, boiling down to a man, even a friendship, because at the end of the day, if people love properly, it will bring them to a place of cohesiveness. It will cause them to mesh together. People cannot mesh together because they don't know how to love properly or the love is lopsided. Meaning that a person, I'm willing to learn how to love properly, but you just want to keep defining this as love, and we can't do that.
Right.
But when
Lack
love
of
is,
communication.
yes, if you're patient in love and you know how to love properly, and there's many dynamics that can go to love, going on, Donka, going on. It's many dynamics that can go to love. I'm telling you, it would cause the world to be in a better place. You know, neighbors, even neighbors don't even know how to love each other properly. You know what I'm saying? Your neighbor might have came out. They could have been bagging their car out. It just depends on how your house set up or the little bricks around your house is set up. And you might bag out and accidentally hit one of their little bricks and knock it over. You got neighbors that'll fly off the handle behind there. You know, is
Exactly.
that love? You can't be patient in the fact of knowing that it was an accident.
Right.
You know, so it's patience is everything. And if we be patient with each other, love understands accidents. Love understands mistakes. You know, and that we can get in another dimension of the conversation of what is an accident and a mistake, but we ain't gonna talk about that. But love understands these things. Love understands you come from a different background than I come from. Love understands that the environment that you come from, I understand why you are the way that you are.
Right.
Love is understanding too.
Yes. Yeah.
Patience will bring you into understanding.
Yeah, and then with understanding that allows you to be patient. No,
Yes.
understanding ushers patience in. Yeah.
Yes, it does. And
Yeah.
it allows, by you being understanding, it allows for mistakes. It allows for even those ignorant places.
Right.
Some people love in ignorancy. I'm serious. Like the ignorant places, meaning they don't even know. You know, love in an understanding atmosphere, it would be patience and understanding that, you know what, I give you room to not know. I give you room to grow. That's love.
Mm-hmm.
I give you room to understand. I give you room to even be you, but long as you willing to sit and let's talk about it. Is this properly right or is this properly wrong the way that you're seeing it? But love will even allow you to be you. So love evolves in many ways. It has to grow. If it does not grow, then guess what? If you don't have those safe spaces for patience, understanding, and all of that, ain't no love evolve. And the world gonna stay in the condition that it is. Ain't
Yes.
no relationship growing without it. Even friends. We didn't start off just loving each other. I
Right.
didn't know you and you didn't know me. But guess what? Even as my friend, I give you the love of being patient with you, understanding with you.
Right.
Like I said, we didn't come from the same background. You don't see things like I see things. I don't see things like you see things. But if we willing to be patient, understanding, and willing to put work in the areas where we need work,
Yeah.
it'll come together.
Yes.
It'll mesh.
Yeah.
It'll mesh.
And that's where the growth comes in. Growth comes in agreement. Like when you said that, when we both willing to work on it, you know what I'm saying? That's where the growth, that's where the growth and involvement comes out. It springs out of love, because like we were saying earlier, with being patient, like that don't mean like like if you obviously see like a person not change, or like you see like the other person is not taking heed to it and stuff like that, and you gave them ample amount of time, to get it right, then that's that. But yeah, but that don't mean they gonna evolve and grow
No,
until
it
you
don't.
on agreements.
No, it don't. That's why the topic is love equals. Love equals up to something, evolving. Because I was just thinking, out of all the words that we just used in the dynamic of love, patience, understanding, growth, all of that, what could be wrong with that kind of love? Why wouldn't that love evolve to growth? The only reason it's not going to evolve to growth, meaning, is because in some sense or some essence, something is being rejected. People don't want to
Exactly.
change. People don't want to be understanding. People don't even want to be compassionate in love. So yeah, in a place where love operates, or quote unquote, because love look like something. That's what we got to understand. We got to put an identity on love. It look like something. So if it ain't looking like understanding, if it ain't looking like patience, if it ain't looking like growth, if it ain't looking like change, if it ain't looking like a calling to come up higher in your characteristics and the way you do people and how you move throughout the land and everything else, that's not love to me.
Exactly. Exactly.
Right. A light of love that help the garden and guidance of love. There you go. And you gotta have a light of love. And that, to me, those lights is patience, meekness, gentleness, humbleness, all of
Understanding.
that,
Yeah.
understanding, you know,
Yeah. Forgiving.
forget, oh,
Yeah.
please, because I'm telling you, that's something people, that topic right there, just forgiveness alone, people fail.
Yeah.
And that's why I
Yeah.
say love needs space
Yeah. You do. And
for
I feel like,
mistakes and all that.
and I feel like I feel like you, as we continue to grow and live life and experience life, I feel like we never stop growing in love, if that
Yeah,
makes sense. Like we never stop, because like you may be dealing with one person or one scenario, one situation where it may be easy to um forgive them, or it may be easy to have compassion with them, based on the scenario situation. But then, like you said earlier, like you may be dealing with a stubborn or a challenging person, so they dealing with that, it's gonna grow your capacity. It's gonna challenge you more. Like, okay, I need to work on
yeah.
growing my capacity. Like, okay,
My
maybe I need to
patience.
forgive a little
I need
harder.
to be a little more patient.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
could be it. When you said it, it made me think of love challenges you to grow. You know,
yeah,
people, you meet different levels of people that challenges your love to grow. you know and it challenges you. You met that person today and you really didn't even meet them because you really didn't have a conversation with them, but they bumped into you, they stepped on your shoe, and now you flying off the handle and you get. But there was a moment of your love challenging you to grow,
mm,
to let it go. It's
right.
all right, it's okay. You know what I'm saying? And everybody ain't the same. So I like the way that you put that. Yes, you'll continue to meet scenarios that will challenge your love to go deeper.
Yeah.
To go deeper. Yeah.
Mm.
Yes, you will. But today, I wonder what we living in. Because this ain't love that evolves. It's like we losing love.
Yeah, for real.
Everybody
Mm.
angry. Everybody upset. Not everybody, but a lot of the world.
Right.
You know, I even look at this voting stuff. It was just like, look how people are acting just because I don't believe what you believe. And you know what that made me think too? Love knows how to agree to disagree.
Right. And people on today too, they associate love with material things as well.
Mm-hmm.
They get it confused. They think like, oh, if I give you money, that means I love you. You know what I'm saying? Or if you know what I'm saying, if you buy me this or buy me that, you know what I'm saying? I feel like a lot of today's, age, we associate love with material.
Yes, and that is so true. But that's why I say it goes back to, how do you equate love? What do you call love?
Yeah.
That a lot of times people love from the capacity of what they deem is love.
Right.
See, you don't know. And a lot of times, the way people love, if you go back to their childhood or even their trauma, you will find out why they are the way that they are. Because a
Exactly.
lot of people, people who deem love off of buying things, it could put me in the place of, did you grow up like this? Were your parents, they bought you everything, and you deem that in your mind,
Right.
you deem that is, they love me because they bought me this and they bought me that and they this and third and fourth and fifth. You know? Or did you get in a relationship where you deemed he or she loved you because they bought you all of this and they gave you all of that and you equivalated that with love, but they hardly ever came home? They call you out your name. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Then you
Yeah.
turn around and buy you gifts or flowers or whatever that they do, man or woman, and then you will, oh, they love me because they, no.
Right.
To me, love is not tangible. That is just the way that we can, those are forms of how we express our love.
Yeah.
We can use those things,
Yeah.
tangible things, to express our love for people.
Right.
But love ain't tangible. And love is an action word.
Yes, it is. Yeah. Yeah.
I measure how anybody, not a man, I'm talking about human, I measure how any man love me, meaning one man or man love me according to how your actions are.
Right.
And even for the person that may not know love, that you deeming it as love by your actions, the fact of the matter is that even in that, I know that that's how you deem love to be.
Right.
You deem love to be acted out like that. Because you got
Yeah.
people, I'm serious, that is okay being called out their name. And I'm talking about friends, relationship, everything I'm saying ain't stuck to the bounds of no relationship. I'm talking about period. You got people that deem love. I see friends do it, deem love, and they could call each other all out their name, cuss each other out, or they business out, all that. And that's still my dog. I love them, and I know, can't do that to me.
Exactly.
Can't do
Yeah.
that to me.
That's
That's
how.
not love.
Yeah.
But
Right.
I've seen people deem it as that. And you know what? You probably go back, find out that's how they mama, daddy talk to them, grandma, whoever that they grew up with. This the lifestyle they with their friends. If they grew up in the streets, I don't care.
Right.
So I deem love by an action. Period. My Bible tell me, let no man fool you with words
That's
alone,
wrong with
but let
my.
their actions
Yeah.
line up. Love is the action. It's nothing tangible. We use
So
tangible things to express it.
right, but that's, you don't just identify love based off tangible things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So like,
Yep.
what would you say to somebody that um or like what would you what would you say to somebody that came out of a dysfunctional back dysfunctional upbringing? They may have a dysfunctional form of love. Like, how would you like approach that person to, present them the real formation of love?
Well, it just depends on who I'm dealing with. Some people, and that's to me, when it comes to love, you have to be led in love because everybody can't learn the same or see things the same. And I say that because if I'm dealing with someone like that, depending on who I'm dealing with, or character, all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Some people I would just show them, to kind of go back to that,
Yeah.
showing them the proper way to love and praying and in hopes that they'll catch on to it and see it and their heart to be purged. And some people it's just forwardly talking to them or laying another option. Now, have you ever looked at it or thought about it like this? It would be a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And some people, depending on circumstances, situations, is to show, hoping that they catch on to it. Because one thing about it, hey, even if people come out of dysfunctional situations and people pay attention.
Yeah.
So it might be something that they doing a certain way that they deem is love, and you seeing it, you like, nah, that ain't the way, that it should be done. And you start doing something contrary and different towards them, showing them that's an action. Like I said, love
Yes.
is an action.
Right.
Who knows? It's pricking their heart, and they may come to you and be like, you know what? Why do you such and such and such and such? And then that's your opportunity to verbally tell them
Mm.
why. It could lead them into a verbal conversation. And it's some people, depending on who you're dealing with, you just have to flat out bring it to them. And bring it as a conversation, not in a demanding form or
Right.
telling, but bringing it in a conversation of, think about this. Give this some thought. Or what you think about this. Or have you ever seen it this way?
Yeah.
Or thought about it this way? Because in most situations, when people don't know how to love, that is character attached to it. And it's built in them. And that's why you have to be patient. That is why you have to be gentle. And that is why you have to be understanding. So to try to just jump in and just be like, this, that, and third and fourth, and they not going to receive that. Because this is what they know. This is what's embedded in them and is built in them. So depending on circumstances, it just could be a moment like, you know what? Let me show you something. Or do you mind if I do it this way?
Right.
Or some people it's just a conversation, and some people it's just to show. It's just to show them and hope that they catch on. But like I said, people ain't stupid.
Right.
People see unusual things, and depending on their level of closeness or how they are with you, they'll begin to start asking questions. You know what? Why do you do that every time and you do? And then it becomes a conversation.
Right.
Love has to be patient above all. For real. And it has to be understanding. It does. Because people come from so many different walks of life, different cultures, different places, different beliefs, all kind of things. Seriously. So like you have to show people, because even the Bible tell us, let God say, let my light shine.
Right.
His light is a light of love. So even him above all to tell you, it's one thing to preach it and teach it, but be an example above all. Because people pay attention.
They do.
They do. Even if they don't say nothing, they sitting back watching. And eventually, if you be consistent in love, like you just said, it has to be consistent.
Mm-hmm.
They'll come, you know why? Why do you do that like that? And it becomes a conversation, and right there, a door is open.
Right. I got another question. So how do one keep love in a boundary, like within a boundary, like not like keeping a boundary of like not being so stern, firm, but not being so like passive aggressive and so like willy
Wisdom,
nilly. Mm.
wisdom. Cause love ain't stupid either. No, I'm serious. I'm dead serious. I'm dead serious. This ain't what nobody told me. This is what I know. It's my story. And that's why I say it breaks off into many dimensions.
Mm.
Cause some people can take what we talking about. So, are you saying you supposed to just let them do whatever they?
Right.
Love is wise. It's wise too. Love will. Nah, that's not okay for the person to treat you like
Right.
this. No, that's not okay for them to talk to. Because guess what? If you really properly know how to love, that means you got self love.
Yeah.
If you
Exactly.
properly know how to love, that means that's why I say most people need to learn love first. And where it starts with is loving yourself.
Charity
Let
starts at
love
home. Yeah.
equal evolving in your life.
Yeah.
Most people don't love themselves. And it goes to you stand for nothing, you fall for anything.
Exactly.
And because most people don't know how to love themselves first, they settle for all kind of love. And they
Hmm.
distribute all kind of love
Yeah.
and call it
That's
love.
hard.
So you got to know how to love you. So I know how to love me, and
Yeah.
I'm learning daily. This is a daily process. But I had to go through the journey of learning how to love me. And now where I stand there, love is wise.
Yeah.
And that's what we can get into. Ain't nobody finna tell you to be with nobody, whether friend or no man, and or one man, whoever, any human. Ain't nobody finna tell you to be around nobody who, yeah, you're loving them in a place of giving them love to soften their heart and show them a real form of love. But hold up,
Who
ain't
is
nobody
it?
finna sit up and stop. Ain't nobody finna sit up and continue to love nobody and you clocking me aside my head. Friend, oh, I gotta fight you every 5 seconds.
Exactly.
Mm-mm. Ain't nobody saying it's love. That ain't love. And you ain't supposed to sit there and keep loving nobody until you dead. No,
Right.
I'm
Exactly.
serious.
Now, for real, people
Or
get
until you
blinded.
all used up and run through the ringer.
Yeah.
Nah, love is wise. And love do have boundaries.
Yeah, you do.
I ain't talking about you sitting up being patiently loving somebody who steady lying to you. That's why I said love have room for mistakes,
Right. Right.
for
Right.
ignorance, meaning things you don't know. But things you know you doing,
There better
when
be
you
another one in there.
talking about love, no.
Who ate all of
Mm-mm,
them?
Exactly.
It was six.
mm-mm. And that's why I believe we misconstrue love a lot of the time. And then people be like, oh, but I love them. They've been my friend for 50 years. They've been my friend for 2 years. They've been my friend for 3 years. I've been with them since I was in high school. That's my high school sweetheart, baby. I don't care nothing about them.
Right.
And
People change.
they dragging your life down.
Right.
And nah, baby, it comes a point where when you got to be wise in the love and be wise with who you give your love to.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
real. But and I believe love all men. I believe love all men, meaning that I love it. I'm putting it like this. I love everybody. I tell people this. I could meet a total stranger and tell them, I love you. And I mean it. I mean it. This ain't just I'm making up something. No, I mean this. I love you. Because I had an epiphany moment in my life where I'm like, God, love ain't that hard. It's not as hard as we try to make it. And when I realized that I want to see nothing but the best for everybody, meaning total strangers I don't even know, I love you.
Yeah. Nah, cause
I
that
love
is
you.
love. You want to see the best for them. You want to.
I don't
Yeah.
even. I don't. I've seen people. out arguing all kind of stuff, and my heart gets sad for them for many of reasons. But it's out of love, because I be looking like, if you just only know how to walk away or leave it alone or let it go, like you said earlier about being humble, like you're so upset that this finna turn into a whole physical altercation, or you possibly getting hurt and all of that. I met a man one day in the gas station. For real. This real life story. And I'm getting my gas. And while I'm getting my gas, I don't know. I can't remember everything that happened, but he was trying to get out of this parking spot. And he was pumping the gas and about to put his nozzle back on. And he was asking, it was a man behind him, because I'm in front of him. And the man that was sitting behind him, he wasn't at a gas pump. He was just sitting behind him. And so when he was putting his nozzle up, he kind of worded to the man, like, can you scoot back so I can get out? Because the space was tight. Like, I'm in front of him, the van in back of him, and it was tight. So the person that was in the van just started talking crazy. It was a simple thing. They was sitting in the car. They really could have just started the car, because I can't remember if it started or wasn't started, and they could have just moved it back.
Right.
But they started talking crazy. Then the next thing you know, the man, he started arguing with him. And I'm looking at him, and I'm like, I could see like his anger level is rising and rising, because he ready to walk up on the car and he ready to do all this. And I was just like, sir, please, sir. I'm like putting my hands together. I don't know this man.
Right.
I don't know him. Never met him. And I'm like, sir, please. I'm like, please let it go. I say, look, he moving back. Because by that time, the man was moving back, which he was wrong. It was a simple thing. See what I'm saying? Love. You can't just start the car up and move back.
Right.
But I'm like, sir, please. Because by this time, he's elevated. He's high. His energy is through the roof. He really was ready to fight this man. I'm like, please just stop. I'm like, let it go. I'm like, look, just get in your car. I'm like, it's not worth it. And I told that man, I said, I love you. Like, I don't want to see you going to jail or possibly hurting it. This is really what I'm telling, because it caught him off guard when I told him I love him. And he kind of like, look, because he was, like I said, he high. He through the roof. He threw the roof. And when I told him, I'm like, sir, I love you. I'm like, I want you to make it home and go back to your family, wherever you came from. I'm like, this moment is not worth it. And you don't make it back, or you hurt. And it was like, after he looked at me for a second and he just like listened to me, he didn't say another word. He just bagged up. He looked at the van again, because he was hot.
Right.
But that diffused the whole situation. But it wasn't hard for me to tell that man I loved him. And I meant that.
Right.
I meant that. That wasn't no made up. I meant that. And I told him why. I don't have to know you to love you. I love you enough that I want you to make it back home. I don't want you to do nothing in your anger in the foolish of a second, and then your whole life flipped upside down. I don't want to see that for you. It ain't worth it. So I'm saying all of that to say, to love people is not hard. I discovered that. And when I could tell anybody, I love you. And I mean that. It's not made up. I want to see the best for you. And I don't want to see you in no harm. None. And I don't, and I'm like, God, people complicate love. People act like they can only love people who they know, or who you got feelings and emotions over or about, or all of that. No, love is simple. Love is just as simple as, I want to see the best for you. I don't want nothing to happen to you that I wouldn't want to happen to me.
Right.
It's simple. It's very simple for us to love each other. Just with that simplicity, starting with that simplicity. I've even walked away from stuff. I had to learn this, though. I ain't gonna lie, Jesus. Jesus, though, I'm gonna tell the truth in the book. I had to learn this. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, with humbleness, I had to straight learn to love people enough to be humble and walk away. Meaning, I've had situations where people are dead wrong. I'm talking about dead wrong. And then I want to get mad at you like you the problem. But you know what? God even helped me in that place of loving people. Because now my heart gets sad and sorrowful for the over them. Because I be like, you're ignorant. Because if you really knew, you wouldn't be sitting up. I believe that. I got to believe that over you. I got to believe that over your life. Because I don't know you. But I got to believe that if you knew better, you would do better. I got to believe that. So I love you enough that I'm going to be humble. And I'm going to gracefully bow out of it. I love you enough because if you knew better, you wouldn't be sitting out here acting like this. You wouldn't be sitting out here talking like this. So God have even moved my heart to a place of love and understanding that people are ignorant. Meaning they're ignorant in just the whole mentality and way that they think and go about handling things. That they are ignorant. Because the truth of the matter is that I gotta believe that if you knew better, you would do better. I gotta believe that because I knew better and I learned to do better. So love have even had me humble and gracefully tapping out of things. For real. I love everybody. I do.
And then with you telling that story, it made me think too, like, love is courageous too.
Yes, it is.
Because you may have to love and have you, well, true love, yeah, have you willing to step in those type of, you know, situations, you know what I'm saying, where you may have to, you know, where you want to see, you know, people, them make it home.
Yeah.
So you put
Yeah.
yourself in that situation, you know, that's courageous. Because some people, well, a lot of people, they'll be like, oh, that's none of my business. Well,
And don't get me wrong, Taylor.
yeah, I was going to say, sometimes that's wise.
It's a place for that.
Yeah.
Because that ain't the first time I've did it. But I do it being led, though. There are some situations, because the Bible even tell you in Proverbs, keep your face on your soul. It's like, that's why I say wisdom and love in all matters. You use wisdom. And it's some things God led me to and just be like, you know, just prick my heart and just be like, no, please. Like, please, you know, I get to just let it go. Just walk away. You know, it ain't worth it. Please, I'm asking. You know, and in some situations I've seen things and my spirit been led to leave it alone. And I start praying out of love. You know what I'm saying? Like, Father, please let that, you know, whatever. But yeah, it is courageous too at the same time. It is. If you really love somebody, love to have people take bullets for people. I'm talking about real, authentic love.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Love had Christ lay his life down.
Right.
That was courageous. And that's why I say love is selfless.
Yeah. Yeah.
The root of it to me when it comes to love is servitude. Think about it though. If we lived in a world where everybody was busy serving someone else other than themselves, I feel like all needs would go fulfilled.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be no space for selfishness.
Right.
For real. And things would be fulfilled. Think about a husband and a wife. If they was busy serving each other, what would go lacking?
Right.
Most times it go lacking because it's selfishness. You ain't thought about, you just keep on taking these doubles and all of this. You want to be out with your homegirl. See, all that is about
Right.
self
Mm.
for whatever reason. And even people can say, you know, I'm doing this so I could provide. Even with doubles and all of this. But hold up, what if you got a family at
Right.
home? Sacrifice too. So love has balance.
Mm.
You know, yes, you do want to work so you can provide.
Right.
But if you just double, just constantly away from the house, no, it's that good money now. It's not good money
Exactly. You
Because for the
taking
cost of
away
that
time.
money,
Yeah.
yeah, you paying another price over here. So it even comes a place where you be like, no, because I need to spend time with my husband or my wife
Right.
or my kids or just my family. So it ain't go back. All money ain't good money. So love have balance to it too, as well.
Mm.
So just as well as you working to provide for your family, you got to also not become a workaholic.
Exactly. Yeah. Balance.
You know, and if they was serving each other, I'm telling you, no lack would go lacking. It's when selfishness step in. And you just always want to be out and you always want to be over there and you always want to be doing that and you ain't thinking about nobody but you and what you want to do.
Right.
Yes, it does. Love does help balance our being. Yes, it does. When we love in a balance, when we have love and balance, yes, it
Mm-hmm.
does. Because the person that was working, doing all them doubles, they thought that they was loving too. But there wasn't love and balance when you got a husband or a wife that's sitting there feeling like they never see you.
Right.
You're never around anymore, feeling lonely, rejected, abandoned, all kind of. That ain't love.
Mm.
That ain't love no more.
Mm.
You went into something else, but it ain't love. Because real love would have been able to identify in wisdom and being like, you know what, nah, I ain't taking no doubles for whatever amount of time because I need to spend it with my husband and my wife or my kids. Or
Yeah.
matter of fact, I just need it for my peace of mind as well. That I
Mm.
don't wear myself out, overwork
Right.
myself.
That's self.
Because when I'm overworked, I go home and now I can't even give my family what they need because I'm wore out and I'm tired.
Mm. Right.
And now you just go in the room and you shut the door. You don't want to be bothered. I mean, rightfully so in your tiredness. But did you think about when you was doing all this working, how you was gonna be lacking on tending to your family,
Right.
even tending to yourself, your own physical health? There's a place of too much of anything is a bad thing.
You know, I agree. I agree. Mm.
And that's the topic. Love equals evolve. Mm. So loving in its proper place,
Hey, it's gonna help you.
things will evolve. It
Hey.
shouldn't go down the toilet.
Exactly, and it's in two is love. It would never, well, proper love. It just makes me think proper love too. It will continue. Like if we just use it in a relationship context with the analogy that you just used. Like if we serving or if you and your significant other is serving each other, you know what I'm saying.
It's
Every
recycle love. Love will recycle itself
yeah, exactly.
continuously. Yep,
Yeah,
I got what you were saying when you said continue. It came
yeah.
to me recycle.
Yeah,
It wouldn't be no dry place of love.
exactly.
It wouldn't. Because even in loving, if you're busy serving your mate, I'm telling you, I'm telling you, even your mate is going to tell you, you know what? I'm just today going to let you have your space, your place, you know, you ain't
Hmm.
got to cry for that. You ain't got to beg for that. If we're just busy serving each other, we will see the need of each other.
Exactly.
And if we're serving them, we're going to serve them what they need.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I'm busy serving you. So in order to be a server, you begin to pay attention to the person you're serving. How they
Right,
like it, how they don't, what they left on the plate. I'm just using this as an analogy and a metaphor. But you be like, oh, okay, I see they don't like Brussels sprouts because every time the last time I bought them they kept the Brussels sprout just like that. So
right,
yeah, they ain't really big. So guess what? Next time I make that, I know not to put that on their plate.
right.
And it
Yeah,
goes abroad with anything else. If you're busy serving your mate and serving them and being concerned about them, then guess what? You will see too. You know what? I've been paying attention. They've been really working hard. They've been, you know what, I'm gonna set them up to get a massage or give them a massage or get them a day of rest to where they could just woo-saw. You will hook them up with their favorite thing that they, you see what I'm saying? And just imagine people just busy giving that back and forth. Oh, what you thought you outdid me today? Hold up. Wait a minute. No, it ain't about outdoing. I'm just being
I
frank.
got you.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Then what a lack it.
Yeah, and then it came to me that love is intentional when he was using the Brussels sprouts analogy. It came to me like love is intentional, and when you serving others, you know what I'm saying, serving the needs of others, you want to be intentional. Like yeah, love is
Uh-huh.
intentional.
But for real. Yes, it is. And when you say intentional, it made me think love is thoughtful.
Yeah.
It's thoughtful.
Mm.
It's thoughtful. And it does. You know, and I'm not to say that I've always been in that place, but this is when I start really examining love, it evolved to these things. It's thoughtful. You know what I'm saying? It will
Yeah.
have it like, you know what? I would like to, or I was thinking about you. And, and it is, love is kind. Always.
Yeah. And then too, it just make me think. Oh, it just came to me too, like even if like okay, using the analogy, like if a father and a son, you know what I'm saying, is not if there wasn't, close, if the father, wasn't there when the child was growing up and stuff like that. But if the father did, if the father wanted to like make it up, come back to their children's life and like to patch it up and stuff, if the father be intentional, you know what I'm saying, starting over. But if the father, is intentional and is thoughtful and considering the needs of their son, what they need, and it's actually there. Love can patch up old wounds too. Like love can, like, be a
Love can
remedy. Like,
heal.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know, it can't patch up no wound. Because when you said that, it made me think that, no, because what was done was done.
well, yeah,
And
true,
it is an effect that happened
right,
because of that. But you can pick it up and repair the brokenness.
yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? And you can build from there. And that's where the forgiving has to come in with that kind of situation with love. You
mm-hmm,
have to forgive.
yeah, open,
Have to have that conversation. Have to have authenticness. Be real. Because the child gonna want to know why you was not there. Why
exactly,
you wasn't, and you have to be honest.
yeah,
You have to. You can't shrug it off, and that's why I said it just go back to love is just selfless.
yeah,
If you don't want to talk about it because that's how you feel, that's selfish.
yeah, no, it
Because you
is,
owe this to this child
right,
that don't know whatever you went through, but you owe them an explanation. Whether it was I was silly, I was selfish, I was this, you know what I'm saying? I had this going on, whatever. But you owe an explanation for it. And then forgiveness have to be on the table. Because and the only reason you would own that explanation is because when in situations like that, even in love, you have to speak and say what it was, because if you don't, you leave all room and error for that child to just assume.
yeah,
And their assumption may be you didn't love me, you didn't want me. And that
exactly,
will keep love rejected out because they only going off their own theory. You didn't
mm-hmm,
want me, you abandoning me, you thought that woman was better because you don't know what the other parent then said. Like it's so many dynamics to play to it.
yeah,
So it's like if you don't be authentic, and that is love, and that is
yeah,
selflessness, you
yeah,
cannot want to shun it out because it ain't what you don't want to talk about. It was one of your low points in life, and you embarrassed. And no, that ain't got nothing to do with
right,
you. It got something that you do with starting with giving the adequate love of an explanation
mm,
of why you was not there. And if you can't do that and you want to make it about, oh, that was the past, oh, leave that alone, whatever, that's over. It's and nobody care about that. That is going to reject the child, and it's going to close off the door for love to even come in. Because then they had, now you only left it up to them to assume why you wasn't there.
right,
And in most cases, you don't know what the parent then said. Oh, your mama, your daddy didn't love you. Oh, they loved this more. They was busy doing, you don't know. Or even
Exactly.
just the child's own assumption.
Yeah.
You don't think I was valuable. You didn't love me. So if you don't give an explanation,
You closing it
you
up.
keeping
Yeah.
you closing the doors to love. And that's where forgiveness comes in.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. There's many components that go with love. Yeah.
Hmm. And us knowing how to love properly. We gotta know how to love properly. Because even in all we talked about tonight, it is we gotta have a place of understanding of knowing when to use those pieces of love that love may evolve in our
Mm-hmm.
relationship, in ourself, meaning the forgiveness. You gotta know when to allow forgiveness. I mean, forgiveness always to come in and forgive, but you gotta know when to allow forgiveness to come in and be the filler for the situation. You gotta know when you need to let in love compassion come in, understanding come in. You
Yeah.
know what I'm
Cancer.
saying? Covering their multitude of faults. You gotta know when to do those things. Because if you don't, then guess what? I'm telling you, that's why love is the way it is today. Love, I gotta put the quote fingers up. Because what we see is just a whole lot of stuff. And it ain't
At
love.
all.
And people saying, even the gurus and the people, because, man, I'm telling you, I thought about this topic. People have so many definitions of love. Love. And a lot of it ain't love.
Nah, for real.
It ain't
For real.
love. Yeah. It's your version of love. You got women that sit in men's face, a man that they could be with, and just because he ain't looking like the world say, and it can go vice versa, looking like the world say, you'll sit up and downgrade and demand that person because you tying love in with this, and love ain't even got nothing to do with none of that.
Yeah.
People are missing their mates because of that. Girl don't love you, man. She don't love you. I'm telling you.
What's up with these Miller Kareem? I seen your comments a couple times. What's up? What's up with this See True? They say love is the fabric of heaven, hope and
Mm-hmm.
harmony.
Yep. Yes, it is.
Yeah, love. I don't know. It just I don't know. This topic, it, yeah. It's like it's love got a lot of components. It's got a lot of but it's a light though. I don't like
Mm-hmm.
love. Love has a light to it. It's a light. Well, true
Mm-hmm.
love, not love that the world identified as love. In today's age, but true pure love. What I'm saying, being selfless. Being humble. It's a light. When you
Mm-hmm.
love properly, you can you shine a light.
Even being chastised.
Yeah.
Many people don't even see that as love. Many people do not see chastisement as love. And have that who you think you are, you can't tell me nothing mentality. That
Yeah.
hold is love.
Yeah.
Just because they don't see chastisement as love.
Right.
Correction is love. They see it as you ain't my mama, you ain't my daddy. Who you think you
Right.
talking to? They don't see it as love.
That made me
They
think
don't
you gotta
see it as
be
the essence of that you love me so much that really you trying to tell me the right thing to do so I don't keep going down this path of the wrong way.
exactly. That made me think too. Like in order to receive love and keep the door open for love, you got to be open minded.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be willing.
Yep.
You got to be willing to receive.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. Most people can't even get past that. People don't see love as communication.
Right.
And all of these things you need for love,
Yeah,
for
for
it
real.
to evolve. You
Yeah.
need good communication.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Transparency,
Truth.
authenticity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's why many people love won't evolve.
Mm.
It won't equal to that evolving state. People lying, won't be transparent. People ain't patient. People ain't understanding. People stubborn. It's so many things that just hold that up right there.
Yeah. Yeah. That hinders the power of love.
Evolving. Because
Yeah.
I like this topic though, for real, because when you really think about it, love should equal evolve.
Yeah. Yeah,
Or
that's the
what are
end
you
though.
doing?
Right.
Love should equal evolving. In anything that we deal with, that we claim we love, it should equal evolving.
Right.
When you think of your kids, you love them, that should equal evolving.
Yeah.
When you
Yeah.
think of a mate, if you love them, that should equal evolving. Family members, friends, everything. If love is not evolving, then that means it's a lot going wrong and being done wrong there. That's why it won't grow.
Exactly.
On the contrary, it look like it's falling apart.
Hmm. Right. What's up with y'all being a God? Mm. Mm.
So to me, if you ain't willing to evolve, you ain't willing to love.
Mm.
And that's just how I look at it. Cause
Cause
love
love
is the
challenges you.
yes, it does.
It challenges
Yes, it does.
not just the not just the receiver of love, but the giver of love too. It challenges.
Yes, it does.
Mm.
Yes, and that's the thing about love. It challenges both parties.
Mm.
Must grow. Both parties must grow. When we started off talking about it, even when you're trying to show someone
Mm-hmm.
love, you have to be patient. So even in the process of both parties growing, yours may be to learn how to love and be more patient.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Why someone else part of the love matter is they're gathering a better understanding of love.
Right. Mm. Yeah.
Love is about reciprocation on both ends. It's just that both parties might not be getting the same thing in their love growing.
Right. Yeah, but both should be evolving.
Be getting something. Yes, they should be.
Yeah, let's see.
Yes, for real. They said gems of golden insight. Yo, thanks, y'all. I didn't know I needed this. You are more than welcome. Thank you as well for tuning in.
What's
What's going
what
on,
y'all
brother?
doing? I just want to tap in on the conversation. I see y'all doing big things.
What's
Yeah,
up with
I had to get dressed real quick.
period? What's up with it, man?
Everything up, everything up. It's good to see you all, and I'm happy to hear that y'all talking positive energy.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
yes,
Yes,
sir. Yes, sir.
yes, 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 yes. So you give some insight on love equal evolves. I've been a guy. Come on, I know you got something good to say.
Gi- Give it to me one more time. You say, what's
Love
the topic
equals
again?
evolve.
Love equals
Love
Love
evolve.
equals.
equals.
One more time.
Go ahead, say
Love
it.
e- love equals evolve.
Love equals evolve.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, for sure. Absolutely. Okay. Love equals evolve. My bad.
No,
I'm a little slow.
you good, you good.
I'm from the 80s.
Like,
Forgive
oh,
me.
damn.
But yeah, absolutely. Love equals evolve for sure. I believe in collaborating be great. That's one of my slogans that I've been pushing for a long time. And being able to love is something that helps you create with other people.
Yes.
Yeah, you can't do it by yourself. You'll never be able to do it by yourself. I know it's cool when we watch Batmans and superheroes and all those things.
Yeah.
You gotta have some type of support system. So love equals evolve. Absolutely. The number one law of nature. First law of nature is self-preservation, right? And the second law of nature, what they didn't write down was if you love yourself that much, you got to understand how much another person can love themselves.
Yeah.
You
I
feel
could
me? So
I
okay.
could agree with that.
I mean, that's facts. Yeah. So if you love yourself, then you know you love yourself enough to know that another person loves themselves enough to
To love
make the next
themselves
move.
to be, yeah. I get what you say. I like the way you put. You know what I like what you just said though, and I think was really good. You said love is created. I like that. When you was talking about the collaboration, you like it's a collabor. I like that. Like that's food for thought right there. And most people don't know that. That is why they stay in the state that they're in, because they don't understand that love is, that's basically, yeah, I like that. It is created. For real.
Mm,
Ah,
yes,
thank
mm,
you for that. Hey, no, for real. Especially when you're talking about collaboration. It takes two
mm,
parties. It takes two. I mean, unless you loving yourself, and we in that self preservation. That number one, law of nature, self preservation. But when it comes to collaborating with someone else in love, it do have to be created.
mm. With
Period.
that being said, it made me think,
I
like
like that.
what we was talking about earlier, like that's the principle of love, but to measure love itself, it's like on a personal experience. Like if that makes sense, like what we were saying earlier, like love is understanding, love is patient, love is kind, love
Hmm.
is selfless, love is humility. That's the principle of love, but in different, according to like different circumstances and situation, love, the measurement of love varies. If that makes sense.
And then, yeah, no, that's why I say people have their definitions.
Yeah.
It's a touchy subject, because when you start talking about love, people get to, oh, well, no, I don't feel you don't love me if you don't do this. And somebody else, oh, well, no, do that. Now, I know it's love. And, but for me, I just feel like love has one definition. And to me, it's servitude
Yeah.
and it's selflessness.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what it
That
always
boils
boils
down
down
to
to.
yeah.
And
You know, I agree.
You know, and if we lived in a world where people were just busy doing that, man, things would be just so much better. In a relationship, in a friendship, just in your neighbor, a passerby,
Right.
just any, if you were just busy serving the next man in some capacity, and just think if everybody was doing this, serving each other in the way that they would like to be done, not according to what they're doing,
Mm-hmm.
meaning the way you don't want to be done. If you serve people in that way, meaning, you know what, I don't want you to put your hands on me, I ain't gonna put my hands on you. You know what, I don't want to be called out my name, I don't call you out your name. You know what, I don't, whatever that may be. Because at the end of the day, even people that put their hands on people, call people out their names and anything else, at the end of the day, I bet you they'll think it's all right, but in the same breath, and the next day, somebody doing it to them, they got a problem with it.
Exactly.
You see what I'm
Yeah, double
saying?
standards.
They got a problem.
Mm.
Yeah, it is double standards. All the time is double standards in love. When I pay attention to it,
So
Trip.
love don't got
really,
favoritism.
Shout out Rob Soul. Rob Soul got a song streaming right now. Rob Soul, ROBSOULE.
mm-hmm.
Rob Soul. It's called Love Hard. Everybody check that out. But of course we treat people how we want to be treated, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, we can't
I
expect.
don't think so though. I don't think people treat people how they want to be treated. Not all the time. I
Yeah.
think people just treat people
That's why I
according to how
say,
they see fit to treat people.
I was I was talking on the power level though. I mean, we talking on the power level. I was thinking like well, that's the notion. That's how we supposed to go with it. Treat people
Okay.
how you supposed to be. Treat people how you want to be treated. That's how we
Uh-huh.
learn. That's how we grew up from where I come from. Again,
Yeah.
I'm from the '80s, but at the
Yeah.
same time, we can't expect people to love how we love. And that's the point that I was trying to get more towards. It's like we'll do stuff for people and we'll think, yeah, I'm showing you I love you. I'm showing you I love you, but that may not be the way that they express love.
Mm.
You know?
Oh,
We
and you
can't.
know what? That make me think of the different ways people perceive and give love. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, that's all I was saying. I mean, I think it do hurt and it do be crazy. Well, sometimes we can misinterpret what it is that they trying to put down. And if you leave it there at the time, I don't think nothing wrong with that either. And I don't know everything, but at the same time, it's like, okay, well, we'll revisit it when it's time to revisit it. Maybe we wasn't ready for it at that time. I mean, people gonna show up. People gonna be and we live in St. Louis. People gonna be funky and fake and all that type of stuff because we don't understand the journey of love. All we know is fight hard. That's it. That's why we produce some of the greatest product that the world has ever seen, especially this country. St. Louis people making noise all over. It's because we bred up different. But what we're missing is those things, the trust factor. If St. Louis had a trust factor, it wouldn't be destitute.
Yeah. Mm. Yeah, talk about it. No, but I get what you're saying. And you kind of going into what we was started off with saying, and I said that too. Well, when you talk about love, it really determines what people label as love, like you was just saying. Because what you may consider love, the next person don't consider love. So yeah, that is so true right there. That is so true. Yeah. But I feel love must be on the table in all things in order for it to evolve, even with, like you were saying, St. Louis and coming up and just uh rising up on another level. Love is needed in all things. Because without love there is no harmony.
Exactly.
There is no harmony at all. You can't get it. And I just feel like a lot of people don't even know how to love because a lot of people don't even know the simplicity of just uh
And
the
servitude.
golden rule of life. The golden rule of life: do others as you want to be done.
Mm.
A lot of people don't even apply by that rule. They want it, but they don't even do it. So no,
Mm.
I'm serious. Cause it ain't complicated. Like I said, to me, love ain't complicated. I can love anybody, and I can display that love to you, and I can tell anybody I love you, and I mean
Right,
that from the
genuinely.
depths of my heart.
Mm.
I genuinely mean it. I could go right now to the store and a man could be walking out, or a woman. I could just be like, I love you. And they probably look at me, and I mean that though. Like, I genuinely mean that. That just for me mean I don't want to see nothing bad or no wrong or no harm come to me.
Mm.
That's all that means. It ain't
Indeed.
that complicated. But
Mm.
we complicated because, like I've been to God said, we stay in the number one mode of self-preservation. We do. People always thinking of themselves. Y'all hold on for a second.
Yep, I agree. I agree. What you think? What you think of Young Certified? How you feel?
I mean, I definitely agree though with what she was saying along the lines of love. It's like about servitude. You know what I'm saying, serving one another, and doing to others as you want done unto you, and especially too, like especially when we look within our own community, we just see a destitute, a desolate, form of love. Like it's no love there because it's like she was saying, like it's just like no one accordness. Like it's just no unity. You know what I'm saying? People only care for themselves and people only care for their family. And then that's too, I feel like lack of love, that's why we see a lot of like poor families and stuff and a lot of like poor like oh well I do know. Like it's just like love, you know what I'm
Peace, brother.
saying? It's just wanting to see the best for other people. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you want to buzz and say you see somebody else you know what I'm saying, trying to get on the bus and you see they don't got a dollar on them, but you know, like you good, you got a couple dollars you can spare. I feel like love is like, you know what, you probably, you know what I'm saying, I see you trying to, you, because you never know where they got to go. They probably going to a job interview or whatever they got to do or whatever they going. No, I feel like love is just like, you know what, I want to, you know, make sure they make it to their destination, so I'm gonna look out for them. Yeah, so I feel like love is just, you know, I feel like that's a form of love. It's servitude and helping your fellow men, but like also helping them with boundaries. You know, like not allowing yourself to be used and played out. Like my mother and I was saying earlier, like about love is in boundaries. But I feel like once you learn your boundaries, learn what you will and will not, you know, go for and tolerate. But you know, you helping your fellow men. I feel like that's love.
Could I ask y'all a question? This just came to me. I'm sorry, y'all. I want to ask y'all a question, and it's on this topic, right? What is one of the ways to identify in any form of relationship? This is whether friendship, whether man and woman, whether mother and father. I don't care who it is, because the principle is the principle. What is one of the ways to identify when love is not evolving? When love don't equal evolve? I hope I worded that right. Y'all let me
No,
know if
you
y'all
did.
give it.
You did.
I think so too. Um, one of the ways that love don't equally evolve. Uh, when it don't feel like love, you know, when it ain't evolution, when it feel like it's fading. We have to trust our instincts and trust our gut at all times. And it shows how much you love as well. Because if were you ever in love, you ain't willing to fight for that love or put some type of effort towards that love. I ain't say fight like I don't mean bust the windows out nobody car or nothing like that, but put some sort of effort towards that love.
Mm,
Shit, I think that's when it's dead. You know when it's dead, you feel it all in your stomach and all in your face, and you
mm,
try to ignore it because public eye or because of the next person. When it's gone, it's gone.
mm.
You
Yeah,
know, you can feel it.
mm. That and along with too, like it just stagnation. Like you just stagnated. Like you were dealing with something. You know what I'm saying? Or if you working towards something, like we were saying earlier, like about chastising. Like if you truly love and you chastise and you want the best for somebody, you doing all that you can, you know, do. But they, you know, the other party steady, they're not evolving. They steady doing the same thing that you complain about. Then yeah, that's a sign. That's a sign.
Mhm. I feel like love don't equal evolve when you won't get out of yourself. When you're not willing to serve anymore, I feel like that love it's not evolving.
Mm,
And I'm talking about this could go abroad for any dynamic situation or circumstance. I mean, you could even take it in business. You could take it wherever though. But I feel like love don't evolve. Love has stopped evolving when you won't get out of yourself. Because if we speaking on the dynamic of love, and we talking in concept of between two people on whatever level,
mm-hmm.
it will always take compromise and sacrifice and a bunch of other things. So I was just wondering that question, like, because you know what, a lot of people stick in dead situations, and I'm talking about friendships, business
Mm,
ships, all kind of ships, for
Hmm.
real. And it be like love. It don't mean it's lost. It don't mean it's gone. It's just the love that's not doing anything. Cause I believe that's the basis of love, growth.
mm,
You know, willing to grow, willing to stretch your mind and how you treat people,
Ain't no
how you
compromise.
do things in life,
Yeah.
how you maneuver with people, even how you just maneuver in small things, not to get into the technicals. So love will always, to me, evolve. You being challenged to just grow in
Mm.
the way you talk, even talk to people. People don't even know how to talk to people. Some people talk downing and degrading, and even if you've been told, like, friend, whatever, like, I don't like, the way you talk to me like that, or, and if you're not willing to grow, I don't care, because that's another thing too with love that I see when it comes with people. A lot of people um are not willing to just, I guess we could say, compromise, because you could tell a person something and whether whatever, and you just like, what, I own such and such and such, and because they think it's okay, or because that's how they identify love, or
Mm-hmm.
that's how they see love, they are not even willing to just compromise and love people in a way that they want to be loved. Because, like, it kind of go back to what I've been a God said about all people don't even see love the
Mm-hmm.
same. You know what I'm saying? Some people see love different, like, and it keep making me think of that. What was that book where it was talking about the 4 ways that people express love, but it was kind of going more towards relationships. Like, some people with physical expression of love. You know what I'm saying? Some people with verbal love. The accolades and the just, what
Love
you doing.
languages.
Yeah, that's what it is. Come on. Thank you, I've been a God. Come on. I couldn't get it out, but that's what it is. So most people love languages or different. And I'm talking about, this ain't just relationships. It's
Mm-hmm.
just period. So I just feel like love stops evolving when you are not willing to stretch yourself to the capacity of the needs of others.
Mm. Mm. Both parties. Both
Yeah,
ways.
both
But
parties.
see, but see,
Both parties.
but that's the thing right there. That's why the first law, right? The first law of nature is you self preservation. That means you love yourself. So if you got that big of a problem with that next person, that means you don't truly love yourself.
You better come through like you do. And that's what I said, I've been a God. I started off with saying that love is selfless. That's
Mm.
the biggest form of love, selfless and servitude.
What's up with the Ashley?
What was the question again?
The question was, how do you know when love is not evolving?
Um, I feel that when things are stagnant, um, there's no evolving. I think a lot of evolution comes through trials and tribulations, um, having to weather storms with people, um, oftentimes strengthens relationships. And yeah, I think when things are stagnant, um, there's no evolution happening. If you've got to be on some kind of a, a wavelength of positive growth or trial and tribulation, but there's got to be movement um, in your life.
Okay.
That's just my thought.
You know what? You said something good though. I think trials and tribulations come to test love. If love is really what you say it
Most
is, or if you
definitely.
love the person, like, love comes to, I mean, trials and tribulations come to challenge the love. Like, okay, you could say, uh between a man or woman, or friends or whatever, and say for instance, we could take it, the man or the woman, right? They've been, they do their part, they this, whatever, and then say for instance something happens and they lose their job and they not able to provide and things just are hard for them or whatever the case may be. Like that's a trial and a tribulation, and that comes to test to see if
Well,
you love
it
this
it
person
brings
as you say.
about it brings about the need to have to be more reliant on one another and trust one another, and you know, as it's no longer, it can no longer be you doing you and me doing me. If one of us doesn't have, then we have to work together. So I mean, it can test it, but I think whether you look at it as a test or just, like I said, just kind of a just movement in life, uh it brings about an opportunity to work together and become stronger together.
Yes, ma'am. I get what you're saying. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. It can work in their capacity. Yes, because it can strengthen it too as well if they're able to make it through it. Yeah. Yeah. How many grants? How many grants? I don't know.
I
This look.
agree as well. Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree as well. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it was pretty solid, pretty solid work through that we had there.
Yeah.
Right. What's up?
Hey, yeah.
What other problems
Yeah.
we solving tonight? What's up? Who else? What are other concerns at?
Hey, it's so many. It's so many. It's so many.
Hmm.
It's so many. Okay, let me ask a question though. Okay, for the person, because love takes patience, right? Right? Because I try to stay along with the topic. Love
Yeah, it
takes
do.
patience.
It comes
It
back.
takes patience to love someone, right? When is when is the time for a person to stop being patient with someone in love? Cha-cha.
Um, hmm, I feel like, hmm, that's a good question because I don't know, because I feel, because like we were saying earlier, like everybody is different. You know what I'm saying? You may be dealing with somebody that's challenging and stubborn, but yeah, I don't know.
Well, the Bible says love is patient, so I imagine you never stop being patient. But I mean, I get where you going at. um if somebody's trying you in such a way
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
that you feel okay, but but I feel that there's patience in communicating. So if somebody's not doing right by you, uh, rather than lashing out or
Yes.
reacting negatively, you have the ability to communicate, and still exude patience, in the act of communicating that, hey, this is not okay. So I would almost say never. You have to remain patient because it takes a lot of restraint too when people do you wrong.
Yeah, it do. It do.
I
It
agree
do.
too. I think that I think that love is patience as well, cause it's
But is love wise though also?
Yeah.
love is never wise. Love crazy, erratic, and all across the ways. Uh,
Wait a minute, hold up, I been
it's serious business though. I mean, real talk.
I
Love
know
hit
it's
different.
serious
Love,
business. Wait a minute. So you saying love doesn't have it's not wise?
Like she said,
I,
like
I
boundaries.
get what you
I
saying,
have
I
to
been to
agree.
God.
I have to
I
agree
do
with the
get what
brother
you
on
saying.
yeah. Go ahead, sorry.
yeah. Sometimes love is not wise, man. And
No,
you
no, no.
put yourself.
And I believe that. I agree with that. I agree with that. Yes, it is. And like what you said, to drag you what? It'll drag you down and through there, won't it?
It will.
So yes, I get it. But do y'all don't believe that it comes to a place where love wisens up? Because I agree with that. I've been there. I've been in love, and I'm talking about just even people that I deal with, love them, because I'm a loyal person, and I have been loyal to a fault. So I get it, and I've let people through about my love that I have for them. So I do get you. I've been a God, and I've been there. But y'all don't believe love wisens up, like wisen up.
Love is like you can't define love. Love is like water and God. You know what I'm saying? The shit that you can't put nothing on. You can't put no strap on love. You know what I'm saying? Love gonna be whatever love gonna be.
And the
Facts.
Bible also talks about love being long suffering. That it'll take you through. You know.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
will. It will. It will. But yet, even I mean, if we to put the scripture, even God say, "Let no man fool you with words alone,
Right.
but let their actions line up."
Yeah.
So it's balanced to
Yeah, love got
everything. And
boundaries.
somebody just put, I can't go back down in the comments, but somebody just said something about love coming after the experience. I don't know why my screen tripping
Love.
it won't. And I believe in that too. I believe
Oh
that
yeah. They say
love
it
do.
seems love is a good scale of things. Yeah, maybe wisdom. Maybe wisdom is after the experience of lovely
And I
purpose.
believe that. I like the way they worded that though, because I love, like I said, I could love anybody, but if okay, we'd say hypothetically that I'm dealing with someone, just period, friend, because I don't put no title on love and who you love, and I'm being patient with this person. I'm understanding that they have their different concept, views, and all of that of love. But if it gets to a point where you're draining me and loving you, I have to wise up.
Right.
And
Well,
then
if
it
they're
comes to where I have
draining
to,
you, then it's not. Then it's not. They're not loving you. They're taking from you.
Well,
It's
you loving and they not. That's not in love.
yeah. That's not.
no,
That's
I
not
didn't
love.
say
But
in love. I said love. I didn't
Okay.
say in love.
My fault.
yeah.
Excuse me.
But
I
So I'm
if
just
apologize.
saying I've been
somebody
the guy because it's a
if
difference.
somebody's
It's a difference.
draining from you, if they're taking, they're only taking and they're not giving, then they're not loving you. So
Same.
that yeah. And long suffering don't have to be in light of it being a like a dispute between the two. There's like when I speak to trials and tribulations, I'm talking about things just like you were saying, like maybe you lose a job or you lose a parent. There's all different kinds of things that you go through, and if you have, somebody there with you, they're going through it with you, you know. Um, I don't know. I'll back up.
No,
That's
I'm
what it just
just
drinking.
asking because I do. I just feel like love has a place of being wise. It kind of go where you say you can love people from a distance. And I'm just asking these questions because many people identify love in so many ways, and many people think that love is as well as enduring any and everything. So I'm just putting questions out there, and I feel like love does has a place where it is wise at,
Mm.
in what
Mm.
you do with your love and who and how. So I'm just asking questions because he's like, what else we talk about here? So it just came to me like, what do love become wise at?
In
Ain't
Because
love,
no,
some people
ain't,
have
ain't no
foolish
enough. I
love.
don't think ain't no enough wisdom in love. Ain't nobody that smart. Nobody. Like I say, wisdom. Nah. Love, water, God. That's the shit that we can't explain. You know,
Hmm.
ain't no enough wisdom. That's the shit we gonna be chasing for the rest of our lives. Trying to understand it. You know. You know, it's supposed to be. I think it should be above our understanding. You know, we can't know everything.
Love, something we gotta use, should be above our understanding.
I don't think it should. I didn't create the program. You know, I'm
Cause
not
you
the
know what?
designer.
I mean, it makes me think of even when I don't know who have children on here or people that they've been. I know me personally, I have children and their fathers, I'm not with them, right? And I love them and all of that, but love had to become wise, even in the place of I'm not gonna let you keep on doing what you do. You know what? And I feel like people get in this issue too with their family members as well. You love your family members so much that you won't even wisen up in the love though, and even how you love them. So many people are stuck in cycles, and people will say, you know, you love them, you had a back, you this and that, and people are miserable. You know what I'm saying? It's holding people lives back behind love. You know, people loving people. You know, people or lives are being held up and stagnated behind. I'm stick by them because I love them. Whether a friend, a family, a man, a woman, it does not matter.
And then,
Even children.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And it's like love does have a why. It should have wisdom in it too as well.
and
To
then
where it's like
love,
I'm not finna continue to stick with you,
right?
and I see you ain't trying to
Ain't
change
no
nothing.
growth,
Even
then,
family, because family is one of the biggest issues that I see people have problems in, and they life be stagnant. I didn't been there, matter of fact, for myself, and all behind love. And you know, for me, I had to learn that love is
But you
wise. You keep
can.
sitting up here. Go ahead.
I was gonna say
Sorry.
you can love someone without dealing with them. You know what I mean? If you have family members or somebody you was in love with or whoever that does you wrong or did you wrong to where you're like, okay, I can't fool with you anymore. You can still have love, love for them and love them. Because for me, it's an action. It's not like this. I guess we get into the flip flop between is it an emotion, a feeling, or is it an action? But if it's an action, it's something that you do. It doesn't mean, oh, I love you, so I'm just gonna stand by you even though you're doing this or that. No, you can love somebody and love them the best by getting away from them. That, hey, I got to show you and teach you, like you spoke about earlier, teaching people. Let me teach you how wrong this is, by distancing myself. Let me teach you how wrong you are by distancing myself, and you can figure it out, or you won't. But I won't be catching
Partake of
hell
this,
because of it.
right?
Yeah.
So that's what I mean when I say love. When is love wise? Like, no, I ain't saying that, oh, it's wise in the sense of to love, but love you should have wisdom in love too as well, to where, because I'm telling you, there's so many people that's dealing with things like that just behind love, and they are blaming it on love and saying, because I love, or because that's my dog, that's my friend, that's my, and behind love, it's like a blind spot of ignorancy, where it's like you're sticking in this and you're messing around in
right?
this, and it's dragging you down, whether it's
Yeah,
emotionally, physically, the relationship is lopsided. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I meant when I said I get what what's your name? I'm sorry. The the young lady, what's her name?
You can
Ashley,
call me Misa.
um,
Okay, Misa. I don't know. I be like calling people by their names instead of just, but that's what I meant by it. Like, no, you can't just turn love off, because I got people that I love right now, but I have to be wise in how I distribute my love with them, meaning in action. Kind of going back to what you said. I can't be messing around with you over here on this, and it don't get me nowhere. It only always end up in a bad situation. So that's what I meant when I said, when do love become wise? Because some people are ignorant, a whole lot of people, and blaming on in the name of love. It be all in the name of love.
It's one of them things, you know. It's just one of them things that you can't explain. People will do a lot of crazy
They
stuff
do.
about
They
some
do.
love,
I
for
agree.
real, you know.
I
And it
agree.
hit when it hit, and you can't say when it's coming. Like, you know, even with, like, with the reality shows, I'm looking for love, and I'm not just saying a relationship between man and woman on some sexual type stuff. Just being in love with another person. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I got brothers and stuff. It don't mean I want to, you know, do nothing with them, nothing like that. But I care about them to a certain level.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? Where it's like I care about what they got going on. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see them hurt.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and then it happens sporadically. You will never know when it come. You'll never know when the love bug touch you. You know, for real, it's tough. It's tough.
Yeah.
On God.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in love, it's about reciprocation too. Like I feel like if you not if the other party not reciprocating, you know what I'm saying, and you feeling drained and stuff like that too. You feeling and I feel like that answers like your question too. Like when you were saying like, is there a breaking point? Well, you didn't say breaking point, but when you were saying like, do it come a time when you start being patient and love? I feel like, and then going along with my auntie said too, like, yeah, you could love from a distance as well. But yeah, I feel like you should, if it's lack of reciprocation, like even even when you do like give chances and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? You give people room to make mistakes and stuff like that. But like you were saying earlier, though, there's a difference between like making a mistake and, you know, doing something that you already know. Like you doing something intentionally. Like we already spoke, we made an agreement, already communicated how I felt about you doing this and then you know what I'm saying, perpetually do, you know what I'm saying, that I asked you not to do, and you know it's no longer a mistake. Now you're draining me. There's no reciprocation. So I feel like when people's constantly doing what they know what they're doing, they know how you feel about it. Then I feel like that's when it's like, okay, it's time to separate from it, because obviously we ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
Can't. Yep. That's just your love, you know, and that's one of them tough parts of life. And we're gonna have to deal with that continuously.
Mm,
Again, you know, and love again, love flows how it flows. You know, we can send love and love not be sent back to us. And that hurt really bad.
yeah, nah,
It
they
does.
do.
You know what I'm saying? But that's where the discipline comes in, where you got to understand where it's not being reciprocated, but that's how strong love is because it still be on our mind. We still
Mm,
be thinking about that.
yeah,
Be a thing, you know. And I understand. I get you. I understand exactly where you coming from.
yeah,
You know, we gotta let it go. We gotta understand that we loving alone, and loving alone sucks for whoever.
Baby. And that's when I gotta wisen up is for me. I like what I like what Seek the Truth said. They said seems love is a burden and a virtue. And I agree. It could be whatever we make it. Yeah. It could be whatever we make it. And I've been a God, I agree with you on that too, because that is the hardcore truth of the matter though. That's what it really do boil down to today.
yeah.
Yeah,
Look at out there talking
it is what it is. What's up? What's next on the topic? How long we finna be on here? Cause you know I'm on here for love. You hear me? I seen Young Certified get on. I say, oh, it's a new year. I'm fucking with Young Certified. Young
Yeah,
Certified
brother.
pulled up on me on the gangster mode. I say, oh yeah, that's my dude.
about.
He wasn't even 21 yet. You hear
Yes,
me?
sir.
He was a
Period.
youngin' trying to come hang with
Yes,
OGs.
sir.
So
Let them
Period.
know.
yeah,
Let them know
so
something.
yeah, I'm
Let
pulling
them
up on
know.
you too.
Yes,
What's
sir.
up?
Hey, I been to God though. You still be doing the
On
events with
Thursdays.
the poetry.
We up tomorrow. We at the MX Theater tomorrow night.
Wait, it's an
What's
open
happening?
mic.
It's an open mic. What's good? We got a
What is
DJ
that at?
battle on the
You
back
talking about?
end. The theme is the DJ battle. We got a DJ battle going on. But we got the open mic coming at the beginning. You know, y'all need to be there bright and early. It's only 7 slots for the open mic, but the DJ battle on the back end will be jamming all night. Networking available. What's up? MX Theater, downtown
You talking
Washington.
about where the last time I came to the place and started?
Mm-mm. Uh, you know what the St. Louis Center used to be?
No,
All right. Well, we
no.
on Washington down by the Arch. It's on Washington downtown, like close to the
Okay.
Arch.
Can you send it to Tayshawn? What time y'all start?
Doors open at 8. We starting the program at 9,
Okay.
and I'll send y'all the information. That's no problem. That's
Yeah.
easy. I
Yeah,
don't know
man,
how
I've
to do.
been.
You know, I ain't so savvy with the phones. I'm from the '80s. I told y'all that before I jumped on.
Period. Me.
You know what I'm saying?
Period.
So, but you know, I be seeing some people be putting stuff up on their screens and stuff. I'm still trying to learn it, or I'm looking for somebody to do that for me. If y'all know somebody that'll do that for me, send them this way. I've been a
I need
guy, IBN,
somebody too.
APOD. What's happening?
Oh
I
shit.
look.
I'm on.
I need that too. Period.
Mm.
Okay.
Yes, sir. That sounds like a plan. I'm gonna go follow your page when I get off. You be posting your event stuff.
Of course.
Okay. I'm just
He
trying to
be
find
posting.
out how exactly to see the events.
He be
You get
posting
the
flyers
inbox
and
too.
stuff.
You know, I see you. We know what's going on. What's happening? Yep. And
Period.
I would love for you to
Period.
come through and check it out. And it's gonna be,
I am. I'm not. I need. I'm gonna be there tomorrow. I ain't even lying. Period.
Oh
Give me
snap.
something to do. Been cooped up in the house with all this snow
Mm.
that's going on down in this place.
Mm.
absolutely. I think
Period.
we're gonna be up there. I feel like all of us should be there, and we can continue the conversation too. You know, for real. I mean, we got some range. Young Certified and Miss Servienta have both been to the programs.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
they know
Yeah.
I ain't
Period.
bullshitting.
Mm.
I know you ain't.
Mm.
You funny, man. He say, and then I'm glad about the DJs too. They gonna be playing. I've been wanting some good music.
We finna see.
They gonna be lit. The battle of the
Hey,
DJs.
I've been working though. You hear me? I got some new poems I've been working on, bro.
She pull up. We only got 7 slots early, so she pull up.
Right on. You said Brian early.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. We're gonna start at 9. Doors open at 8. So if you go ahead and sign the list, we'll get you up there. But by it's only 7 slots though, because the DJ battle gonna be the theme of the night. So
Right.
yeah.
Right.
But it's
Right.
all good though. We're gonna keep rolling and we got all year to do whatever we wanna do.
Right
There it
on.
is. Incorporated. There it is Thursdays. We support everybody and everything that you wanna do. And that's what we've been building for the last 5 years. You
Mm.
know,
Yeah,
we
that's how
started
I
with the
met you.
COVID,
Period.
and I don't mean to take over on your
Yeah.
on you young
Go
certified, but I
ahead,
think
do
it's
your
very
thing. Do your
important.
thing.
You know what I'm saying? I think it's very important that we let everybody know that we are going to sustain ourselves, self
Period.
sustainability. We
Yeah.
can't
Period.
continue to allow people to control our lives. We got to have at least control over our lives, or die trying type shit.
Hey, period. Hey,
So
I been the God straight up. I mess with you, man. And I feel everything you saying too. For real.
Yeah.
I feel everything you saying.
Yeah,
Hey,
bro. Just show me the.
I got some stuff I want to talk to you about though. Cause I got another location and I do event start. And I mean you had been crossed my mind though, but I'ma see you tomorrow.
all right,
Yeah, just send me the address, man, so we can get it on cracking, bro.
And don't forget either, cause I'm finna get off too. I need to eat
for
something.
sure. Hey, young certified, I'm gonna send it to you. Send it to Miss Servience and the young lady that was on with us.
Right on.
Yeah, got you.
Well, I
Thank
thank
you.
you for chiming in, though, brother. I thank you for being part of the discussion. You know, we do this. You know what I'm saying? We do the open discussion every other week because every other week I do open mics on Fridays. You know what I'm saying? So we got this going on, and yeah, just stay following, man. We got some other things opening up too as well. Going down the line. So man, definitely stay tuned, bro. Stay connected, bro. You gonna see both of us. You gonna be seeing both of us a lot, bro. Straight up.
Yes, sir. Okay, I'm out the building.
Yes, sir.
Until next time.
All right, right on. Oh, he already left. But yeah, I serve you until I catch you later on. Then you know how we do it.
All right.
All
Bye.
right.